Next guest, what a legend. I can't think of a single person in Hollywood who has done more to support our veterans than our next guest. Gary Sinise is an Oscar-nominated acting legend, known for movies like Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Ransom, and The Green Mile. But on Saturday, July 12th, he and his band, the Lieutenant Dan Band, will be performing at the Rockin' for Our Vets concert at Cantigny Park in Wheaton. I am honored that Mr. Sinise joins us live. Good to see you again, sir. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh, good to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, we got to start out by just talking about this event. Tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening in a few weeks.
Yeah, well, you know, years ago, gosh, for almost probably about 10 years in a row, starting in 2006, we played a big concert out at Cantigny Park. And it just got bigger and bigger every year. It was for something called Rockin' for the Troops, to raise money for Operation Support Our Troops Illinois. We were trying to help them with their efforts and everything. So it's been a while since I've been back to Cantigny. I actually went to high school at Glenbard West High School in Glen Ellen, so I know that I'm familiar with that area, and I wanted to come back then, and it's been a while since I've been there, so I'm looking forward to coming to Rock for the Vets on July 12th. Hope everybody comes out. We used to have really big crowds out there. Everybody came out and had a good time. So we want another big crowd there. I'm very much looking forward to returning.
Well, I know you're going to get a good crowd. We got a couple of weeks to get people out there. I really want to talk about the experience of playing Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump and how your relationship with that character kicked off such an incredible relationship with our veterans and our current men and women in the military. You've done so much, and a lot of it ties back to this character we all know and love.
Well, a portion of it does. Truly, even earlier than that, I got involved in Chicago at Steppenwolf Theater with supporting our Vietnam veterans going back to the mid-'80s. I have Vietnam veterans in my family. I was the artistic director at the time back in the mid-'80s, and I was directing plays, and I wanted to find a play that would speak to the Vietnam veteran experience. I found one that happened to be written by a group of Vietnam veterans called Tracers, and we performed it in 1984 at Steppenwolf, and that began what has become, a 40-year tradition at Steppenwolf called VETS Night. And we, every one of our plays at Steppenwolf, we bring veterans in to see the play for free, and my foundation will sponsor a meal for them, that kind of thing. So the veteran thing goes back, quite a ways, and then certainly playing Lieutenant Dan had a lot to do with getting involved with supporting our wounded, because of course Lieutenant Dan was a wounded soldier. And then after September 11th, I just dove in full force, kind of felt a call to action and wanted to do everything I could to support those who were deploying to Afghanistan. Iraq, we started losing people. They started getting hurt, and my heart was breaking for them and their families, and I just wanted to do something. So I volunteered for the USO, started doing a lot of things, and then it all snowballed into the creation of the Gary Sinise Foundation, a full-time foundation. We're entering our 15th year at the Gary Sinise Foundation now.
Wow. Then honestly, we love you for that, sir. To me, that's what it means to be a true celebrity, and I love that. Really quick, if you don't mind, I'd love to look back at your acting career for a second, because this is the 30th anniversary of what was a really big year for you. 1995, you received your Oscar nomination for Forrest Gump. You starred in Apollo 13 that very same year. I'd love to know what you remember about that year specifically in your life 30 years later.
Oh, the 90s were great for the career. I hadn't done that many movies before Forrest Gump. I'd done Of Mice and Men and a few other things. I got the part in playing Lieutenant Dan. We shot it in 93. It came out in 94, and of course the Oscars were in 95. Then I did Apollo 13 after that with Tom Hanks and Ron Howard. I did Ron's next movie called Ransom with Mel Gibson. Did another movie called Truman, about the life of Harry Truman, and one called George Wallace, about the life of George Wallace. And then I did The Green Mile. I did another movie with Nick Cage called Snake Eyes. The 90s
Snake
were
Eyes.
very, very productive, very good years.
Well, you know what? You're productive right now with a completely different thing that we love. Honestly, more than that, we want to make sure people grab tickets. WSFDV.com. We're going to post a link on our website as well, fox32chicago.com. Mr. Sinise, any last things you'd like to say to our veterans and our troops watching right now?
Well, we're going to rock for the vets on July 12th, and my band is always doing that. I'm leaving today to go to Dayton, Ohio to play a big veteran support concert, and then we're at Camp Atterbury in Indiana, and we continue to do it at the Gary Sinise Foundation, send our band all over the country to make sure our troops know that they're appreciated and that we're grateful for them.
Absolutely. Well, we are grateful for you, sir. The event, Saturday, July 12th, Gary Sinise and the Lieutenant Dan Band, Cantigny Park in Wheaton. Mr. Sinise, it is always an honor, sir. Thank you for everything you do for our troops and our veterans. We appreciate you.
I sure appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, coming up, we're going to